Welcome you to our behind the scenes live chat. My name is Elmira, and our guest today is Jamaica Nash. This is one of my sisters. For those of you who don't know, most of you know that I actually have three sisters and two brothers. And today's conversation is surrounded around faith and family. And I want to have this discussion because we're performing at the World Family Experience coming up at the end of the month. Just kind of wanted to talk to Jamaica about several things. So first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. As I was telling you before, it's a little warm here in Virginia. I know you're down there in Georgia, and I heard a little bit of thunder outside, so a storm is brewing. But other than that, doing good.
Good, good, good. Well, on the topic, because of course the event is about family. If you had to give your synopsis of what family means to you, what would you say?
Family to me obviously means great support system. It means something to be grateful for. And but our viewers may not know that it's six of us. And primarily we were raised by a single parent in New Kent County, Virginia. And so, but we had a very, very supportive family. We lived in an area where we were surrounded by our aunts, surrounded by our cousins, surrounded by our church members, and it was a lot of support. So we're something to be grateful for, something to be thankful for, obviously, and something to always want to try to give back to the next generation, to show them everything that everybody before us has done, and then to kind of stretch that hand back and provide all the resources that they need. So I look at family as an awesome support system and role models. I guess that's the best way that I could say it as well.
It's kind of interesting you say that because you are a role model, being that you've been a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
How many years has it been? Has it already been 25 years? How many years?
Woo, slow
I
your
don't
roll,
know.
slow your roll.
It ain't
I
been that
am going
long, but
into I am going into my 22nd year. And if y'all
oh,
can see that,
22.
shout out, yes, shout out to Highland Springs High School, going into
Okay,
my
go
22nd
Springers.
year. And I've been there all of my educational career as a teacher. So 22 years, going into my 22nd year, starting next Monday, August the 17th.
What has been the most rewarding part about that? Because of course you said reaching back and you deal with the teenagers and a lot of them have reached back to you and shared pictures or you might run into
Mhm,
them
mhm.
in the community.
And speaking of that, we went to Jamaica last week, and our flight coming back from Atlanta, Keyshawn and myself, Wilhelmina, getting on the plane. One of my former students was on the plane coming back from Atlanta to Richmond. So I
Wow.
looked at him, he looked at me, and I was like, "You remember me?" He said, "Yes." So I run into kids everywhere I go, primarily. But the rewarding part about being a teacher is looking at the students that we have in the beginning of the year. So right now we go back in August. We used to go back in September, and then seeing the growth that they made come May or June, depending on when graduation is. Just a different growth, the interaction that I can make with them. I'm kind of standoffish, I would say, at the beginning of the school year because I don't want to let too much of myself go out there. But then over time, as I started learning a little bit about the students, I can tend to be a little bit more myself. And then sometimes I get the opportunity to share my faith with some of the students. So that definitely is rewarding as well.
What do you tell them about your faith?
One time I could use one example. I had a student, this probably was about 6 or 7 years ago. Six, seven. So 6 or 7 years ago. And she interviewed me and she said, "I need to sit down and interview you. I need to interview somebody for an English project." Fine. I sat down with her, and this was a student that just gave me a lot of trouble. She didn't want to be in my classroom. She was very demanding. "I need my work. I need it now." And I just looked at her, went about my business, did everything that I was supposed to be doing. She would get her work, go to another teacher, sometimes slide that work right underneath my classroom door when she was finished, and I wouldn't hear back from her. Then she started on my planning period. She would randomly knock on my door. I'm looking out. I don't see anybody. She's running down the hall. So I said, okay, you know what? Jasmine, we're just going to say Jasmine. Jasmine was a hot mess. So Jasmine sat down with me one day and said, I need to interview somebody for an English project. I said, okay, I'll sit down. She sat down. It was supposed to be probably like 30 minutes. It ended up being an hour or more. Just asking me about myself. She said, you are so unique, basically. I want to figure out why you are the way that you are. And I said, okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself growing up. In New Kent County, single parent home. Our
Hmm.
mom, of course, making sure all of us graduated from high school, making sure all of us graduated from college. And then I started sharing some of my health problems that I had with her. And she opened up to me because her sister was going through a similar diagnosis at the time, being epilepsy. So she opened up to me regarding that, and the tears just started flowing because she didn't really have any outlet or anybody to speak to about the situation, because her sister didn't know how to deal with the situation as well, and her sister had two little children. So just telling me stuff about her life, the struggles that she was having, the fact that she was doing illegal stuff at the time. And it was just becoming, I was like, you know what? I'm glad that you had this opportunity to sit down with me. We're going to go off the record. God loves you. Jesus loves you. You're not in this alone. There's somebody that's always there to help you. And that was actually the year that school shut down early, the 2020 school year. And she kept in touch with me ever since then. I want to say she even got baptized. I
Mm.
know that she had joined our Bible study group with the church down in, of course, Lebanon Baptist Church down in New Kent. And periodically she'll text me here and there. And she joined the Marines. So sometimes those children that are little hesitant, they're going through something, and when they sit
Yeah.
down and try to open up themselves to you, I take that opportunity to say, you're not in this alone. Whether somebody that's not able to help you at home, someone can help you at school, and the master upstairs can help you out to get through this situation. So I like that opportunity to be able to do so. So I'm not in front of the class all day long preaching. It's typically a student that'll come to me and ask me about individual information, and then I'll help to spread the word that way.
That's really good because, of course, in your years, 22 years, you've encountered so many of these types of students.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this event is about that we're prepping for, is those students where she didn't know how to talk about her sister's health issue, but then you were there. And then she stood the test of time and got baptized and did this
Mm-hmm.
and went to the Bible study, got in the Marines and did all of that. What would you have to say? Because there are some young people that age, let's say they're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. They don't know who to turn to. What can they do?
Reach out to someone, uh, someone that you can, even if you trust them this much, reach out to them, because some people automatically walk around. You think you got a smile on your face, you have good clothes on, your hair is done, your nails are done, all of that stuff. And we think that everything is going good for them, but they're hurting. And that's so many of us, even though some of us are in the church, we're still hurting inside. So let someone know what's going on, even though you may think, oh my gosh, it's the worst possible thing I've ever done, or people are going to look at me in a different way. They're going to shun me. They're going to do this. Let somebody know what's going on. That particular person may not be able to have the resources to help you, but someone in their general network can. And I always emphasize, you are not in this thing alone. All of us have done wrong, and we should not be shaming anybody else. So we're here. We should be here to help better ourselves as well as those individuals around us.
Yeah, because we not in this alone. I got to tell you a little quick funny. This going to be in development. I'm not even going to tell people the idea. Well, I'm not going to tell them the title, but the idea, because me and you both know this. Me and Terrence came up with an idea today where we want to create a series about rural church life.
Oh, wow.
But it's based on that. Like, what's really going on behind the scenes, like with the choir director or on the mission
Mhm.
ministry? Because people think there's
Mhm.
nothing happening at the country church. What happens to prep for revival? What is the pastor really going through? What? So we got a
Mm.
whole the fish fry. You know, what are we doing when the it's homecoming?
And
We
them
got the
pound
plan.
cakes, them pound
Yeah,
cakes.
see, we
What
gotta
did they
have the
used to
plan.
give us? The red punch, the church
Yeah.
candy, the pound cakes. Woo!
Well, the
Gotta have
pound cake
it.
and the regular cake, you know how at the second service they give you the big sheet cake and then you get
Cake.
the peanuts and the
Mm-hmm.
mints. You gotta have the
Mm-hmm.
peanuts. Gotta be the
I
peanuts
love
and
it.
the mints and the red punch. But that's true because sometimes when it comes to faith, people will assume that faith makes you perfect. Okay, I'm in the church,
Mm-mm.
I'm on the church ministry, I'm the pastor, I'm the deacon, I'm the whatever, I'm in the choir. Because you on the praise team, right? I'm on a
Yes.
praise team, so everything going right. What has been one challenge you may have had to deal with just being in faith, being in the church that you had to overcome or had to overlook?
One challenge. I will say, and I was kind of reflecting on this the other day. So, as I said, had the diagnosis with the epilepsy and then had surgery due to some other complications a couple of years ago. And so, normally, when something happens in my life, I don't take it as saying, God, why me? Why
Mm-hmm.
me? But some people say they like to turn it around and say, why not me? There is a bigger vision at hand. I guess that's the best way that I can say it. So every time that I am faced with a challenge, I look at it as what more can I do for God? So at that time, I had surgery 2 summers ago. It was supposed to be something that I was going to be in recovery for 6 weeks, but I guess a week and a half after the surgery, I ended up back in the hospital for another week due to complications with the surgery, which only happens in, I think they said, 6% of people that actually have that surgery. But in any case, I was in that bed praying day and night, day and night, day and night, like, God, what in the world, what in the world, what in the world is going on? And typically, when I like sit down and pray and get on my feet and knees and all of that stuff, I'm shedding tears. But at that time, I was not shedding any tears. So I said,
Hmm.
okay, you have grown a little bit because in the past you would have been sobbing and having no hope, no faith about what direction you're going in. I said, okay, this is a little bit of growth. But after that, I said, God, he already knew I liked to sing. I was already on the praise team. I said, I'm going to give more of myself to you when I do recover from this situation. So, singing more for you, reading more about the Bible, going to Bible study more, shutting different things out of my life that'll take my eyes and focus away from Him. So, I will say, yes, sometimes your faith is shaken because we're all, no matter if we're in the church or outside world, we're all always going to go through some type of struggles. But usually those struggles are there for a higher purpose to get you to another area in your life. So when they do come my way, I'm like, okay, okay, what's next? All right, I'm gonna jump over that hurdle. But also, I look at it as a way of being able to minister to people, whether they're in the church. You can give your private testimony to some of those people that are a little weak or going through some situation, or just people in general in the outside world. So with it, I have noticed with every obstacle, my faith has grown because I've over was able to overcome those obstacles with God.
I would say that's grand because you didn't allow the obstacle to take you over. You
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, God, what more can I do? So then you were able to grow, you were able to shift and then excel to the next level in your faith. So
Yes.
that's
Yep. Yep.
so, and what I hear in that is you welcomed it. Because sometimes if we don't welcome the growth, how we gonna get it? Like,
I don't know, and we're not gonna get to the next area where we're supposed to be in life. We're not meant to be stagnant. So we have all these goals. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that out of life. Fine, but you're going to have to work for it. So if it takes you having to go down in the dungeon or going through this pit hole or what are they, pothole, I guess I could say, in order for you to get to that final destination that you want, bring it on. And it's going to make you that much stronger.
Mm-hmm. Stronger. Yeah, you build that. I got a question about that because you just said stronger. Some people assume that they can just be strong all by themselves. They don't need, let's say, they say, okay, I don't need God, I don't need family, I don't need this, I don't need y'all people. I can do, it's like the Tyler Perry movie, I can do bad all by myself. Like, why do people need support? Because you started off the conversation with that. Why do people need support?
We are not in this journey called life alone, and we're not supposed to be meant to be on this journey of life alone. So we're surrounded by people, whether it's people at work, whether it's people in the church, our family, people on the highway. We're surrounded by, and we need each other. So the purpose of having all of these people in your county, your city, your state, the country, the world, all of us don't have the same gifts or the same talents. Like an area where you are strong, I'm weak. An area where I'm strong, you're weak. That's meant to reflect back and forth off of each other. We need each other in order to survive from one day to the next. And anybody that says they can make it on their
That's a
own,
gospel
I say,
song. I need
I need
you.
you to.
You need me. We're all a
We're
part
all
of
a part of
God's
God.
body.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if they
that's
say they can make it on their own, I'll say, prove it to me. Show me what you did. And I can guarantee you, even if they say they made it on their own, all right, you got $1 million. Somebody say, I did it on my own. Somebody had to pay. You needed customers in order
yeah,
to get your
true.
business. You needed the bank in order to store your money. You did not do any of this stuff on your own. Nothing, nothing. So give credit where credit is due.
That's true, because I can't be having a million, because then where I'm going to spend it? I can't even spend it on my
Mm-hmm.
own.
Can't do that.
I mean, I
Not at
got a
all.
whole $1 million and I'm just hoarding it. Like, okay, this don't work. this
Mm-hmm.
don't this don't work. Okay, I got a question because this question is kind of about us and the upbringing. What would you say was one of the benefits of growing up in a larger, like, supportive family?
It was always a good time. It was always a good time. I was looking back through some of those photo albums and I was like, oh my gosh, we just had fun over the littlest things, like playing. I saw one picture of Wilhelmina playing a guitar, like a stick outside, and people always coming over to see each other, always having big Thanksgivings, big Christmases, all of that stuff. It was always somebody, always something to laugh about, always someone to have a good time with. And even now, you can say we got so many cousins, and some people say that ain't your cousin for real. Yeah,
Yes,
it
it
is. We
is.
come from a big family on both mama's side and daddy's side. We got a lot of family. So having that support system that's there, being able to be around a lot of people all the time was lovely. And it's even to the point, like I was just reflecting the other day, how some people will say, I got this friend, that friend, that friend, that friend, that friend. Most of the closest people to me are my siblings and cousins. So it wasn't even that we needed to go out and make female or male friends. We had
Hmm.
like your own social group right there because you had such a big family.
Yeah, that's true because you making me think I had a cousin in my class, Tremel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
literally, we're 6 months apart, like the whole school year, and we could do
Yeah.
our projects together. We could whatever, that's my family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is. It was definitely something like from Solomon maybe doing his impersonation of D'Angelo, somebody cutting up Billy DJing. Somebody always doing something. It's somebody. Uncle Leonard doing this, Uncle Kenneth doing this, Uncle Kenneth coming for a visit. I mean, it could be Uncle Lawrence and Aunt Rose coming down. It could be anything. Okay,
Hmm.
we about to go over Aunt Anna's house, or it's just, it was always something
There's stuff to
happening.
do. Hmm.
Always, yeah, always.
And
I
I,
mean,
I'll take that shift a little bit, and that's one of the reasons I like to do the stuff for the family reunion, of course, because so many of those individuals that you mentioned, our uncles, our aunts, all of them have really paved the way, and they were there to help us out a lot and support us while we were growing up. So definitely want to keep that legacy going with the next generation for generations to come. We're continuing to do the family reunion.
well, let's talk about that because you've been really instrumental in the family reunion, and I want to say this to the Pemberton
Mhm.
family reunion. And you obviously stated one of the reasons you do because of the legacy piece. Why is it important, not just for you, but anybody out there? Because they could be your age or younger and they're wondering, we don't need family reunion no more. That's what they used to do back in the day. Ain't nobody trying to do that. It's 2026. We don't need that.
Keep in mind, I'm a history major as well. So I like history. I like learning from history, and some of the things that we have, whether it's a governmental side of things, this doesn't even relate to family. Something we have today. Let's say we've got our electronic vehicles that are out there. Something had to occur in order for us to take, I say, privilege or be well off enough to be able to have those things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to know history. It's important to know why things are the way that they are because we're benefiting from something that so many people have invested in to this day. So if you know your family, you can look back and say, wow, my great uncle was in one of the Tuskegee Airmen. Or wow,
Mm.
my grandma was one of the individuals that sat in with Rosa Parks. It just puts a different vision on how you have an outlook on life. That's to me. Because you're like, look, all this stuff these people did, and I'm sitting here acting a fool. I need to straighten up because I got a map in front of me of all of these people before me that have done these great things. I can't be the one that slips. I got to be able to be the next one to take it up one step higher because we have that much more opportunities than they had prior to that. So, as I said, love history, love learning about it, love learning about the different decades and the centuries to see how not just us as African Americans, just people in general, were able to overcome different circumstances, whether it was wars, whether it was a hurricane or whatever, and what came about. Because some new type of revelation, some new type of invention has always come about, unfortunately, due to tragedies. And the same thing for individuals. We only going to know how to do better if we knew what was going on in the past. So that definitely is important to know what's how your family was structured, about your family members and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true because I can say, even looking at like our family, we know how to do stuff because of who came before us, like our
Mm-hmm.
mom, our dad, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. They showed us what is possible, what you can do. Because I can mention on both sides of the family, on the Lofton side and the Pemberton side, they were really big on the siblings staying together, or you doing stuff, or you, we knew all of them. It wasn't like, okay, you don't know. Now, we may have not known our dad's side that much because we weren't around them that much, but we still knew
Mm-hmm.
them. We still knew who they were. And to me, it's important to carry that legacy because we saw it. We saw the togetherness. We saw the importance of, you have to know this is your great aunt, this is your third cousin, this is your so and so and so and so. You ain't gonna be on the subway somewhere or trying to date this person and you don't know that's your cousin. Like, you not gonna know that. You gonna actually spend, and to take something that Lauren is initiating. She wants to ensure that the younger generation, those who are under 30, know this
Hmm.
same thing too, that where her daughters and people around her daughter's age in the family know this type of stuff. Because if we miss it, and I'm talking about us, because at some point we become the bridge. We can no longer
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I'm a kid." You ain't no kid. You 40.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
can't be like, "I can't do nothing. Oh, my mama and daddy ain't show me what to do." Yes, they did. It's your time to shine.
Hmm.
Take up
True
your
that.
take up your cross, because I was looking. And this is where we had our time to shine. It was 2015, and it was the same weekend just 11 years ago, because it showed up in my memories on my Google
Oh, for
Photos.
the family reunion.
Yeah, where we planned the
Hmm.
family reunion. This was the first time we were responsible. So how old was I? I'm looking back. So if I'm just doing 11.
Um,
So I was 37, and of course you was what? Maybe like 33.
34. 34.
Yes. So we were early 30s, in our 30s, planning the family reunion for the first time. We may not have known all that was
Hmm.
supposed to do, but we saw it. So that meant
Yeah.
we had an example. When you think back to like that year, what was monumental about planning that year particularly? Do you remember anything?
I remember the T-shirt. I put the T-shirt on. There's pictures online, of course, and you can see the pictures that are online. It was one of the things I did like is we did a whole lot of networking that year. So it wasn't just the Pemberton family. I remember like in-laws coming, I remember
Yes.
cousins coming, I remember friends coming,
Yeah,
and I think that was one of the
Tabitha's.
benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, her family came and Destiny's friend came, Michael and Annette came, but
Did we
I
perform
think
that
that's a
year? I'm trying
benefit.
to think. Did me and Terrence
No,
perform that, or was that a different year?
I that
I
might have
can't
been a
remember.
previous
I
year. I don't
think
think that
no, it
year.
wasn't. I know it wasn't that year, because the band won't even together. So scratch that. That was way before. Yeah, that
So
was
I
like,
think that's one of the benefits of this generation planning it. Nothing against anybody that's older, but they're not used to a lot of technology. So we know how to network a little bit more. And so we were able to bring in other people. Yeah, so you're not blood, but you come on out to the family reunion. You family to me, come on out
yeah.
to the family reunion. So we did have a lot of people that were there in attendance. And one of the things, like I said, one of the things I do remember is people there in attendance that were not actually blood relatives, but still said they were grateful for having the opportunity to be there. So that whole networking and inviting other people and whatnot. And we did a lot of different things. I remember Cyrus dancing like Michael
Oh
Jackson. We had
yeah.
a comedian there, and I think Monte spoke.
Oh yeah,
So
the comedian. Yeah.
did he speak? Monte spoke. He spoke a little bit because I think we were just newly given those scholarships away. So we had asked him to speak about what his educational journey was at the time and talk about, not necessarily how are you using the money, but speak about your educational journey and how like the whole setting of the scholarship was beneficial to you. So we were allowing a lot of the youth to participate so that they can
Mhm.
see some of the things going on. So when they do get their time to shine, they know exactly what to do.
Yeah, because it's all about passing the torch. Nobody, and I'm going to use a
Mhm.
sports reference, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Serena Williams, none of these people can play forever. They're going to have to
Yeah,
give it to somebody else so that another team can win, another player can win. Like, yeah, I can't do this forever. Like, it don't make no sense.
true,
Like,
true, true. So
it
true.
you gotta, and what you said was so important, because this relates to what the event coming up on the August 29th, everybody. Make sure you check it out. It's on Eventbrite. World Family Experience. It's a 3-hour virtual event all about bringing all types of family together. Jamaica just said it. At our family reunion back in 2015, people came, they weren't related to us, but they were related to us because we love them. They are friends, family,
Mhm.
in-laws, whoever. That's what this event is about on the 29th. People from all over the world going to be there. Me and Jamaica are performing. We prepared something special for y'all. Um, I want to talk about that. What you said, how some people can become your family who may not be blood. Have you had that type of relationship with anyone, whether it's a friend, a coworker, anybody that you feel like, okay, I can call that person family?
Yes, 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 yes. I've got a few individual. I'm a pinpoint one person. Um, Miss Marks, I don't know if you're listening. Miss Marks was kind of my mom at work. Um, I don't know what it was about me and her that connected at Highland Springs High School some years ago. I want to say that she started maybe like a year after me. I don't know what it was that connected the two of us. And she'd probably say, I know what it was. It was God. I know that's what she's going to say. But she would invite me down to her class and we would do like prayer in the morning, reading some of the scriptures that were there. She even invited me to her church because, you know, in Lebanon, we wouldn't have church on fifth Sundays. And so on fifth Sunday, she was like, go, come on and go with me and go to my church. She, gave me the opportunity. I rededicated my life to God or Jesus back in 2016. So she gave me that opportunity to do that. And once that happened, that opened up so many different windows or opportunities because she knew, as you know, she knew Orlando. So I happened to go to a service with her one Sunday where Orlando was playing in the percussion session section at the service. And she called me maybe like 3 days later and was telling me some guy at church wants your phone number. I was like, okay, I ain't see nobody that I like, but whatever. he in,
Ah!
I, I said he in the church. I trust you. Pass that number on to me. Whatever. So from there, our relationship obviously developed, and we got married. She kept telling you, I know you won't get married to him. I know you're going to be the one. So I would consider her family. We stay in touch from time to time, text each other. She now has two grandchildren. So she'll share stuff with me about her grandchildren. Her little grandson, he's 5 years old. He just got baptized on
Hmm.
Saturday. So he is gonna be something. He's gonna be something. He already is something else, but he walking and talking and preaching and all of that stuff at 5 years old. So that is one individual that I would say I consider family. I have many close co-workers that are awesome individuals, but that is one person I would probably say is like my mom in the workplace.
Who is
Even
Miss
though she
Marks? Did
has
I
retired.
did I
You
meet
met her
her?
at the wedding. Yes, Carolyn Marks. She in our photo album, she calls herself the matchmaker.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look back, yeah, and see what remind myself what she looks like. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know the story, of course, like, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember. Yeah, like remember. Okay, let's talk about that because you just spoke of how you met Orlando, your husband,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a definite faith move as well because how old were you when you all met?
I was 37.
Okay, 37. And there are many women
Yes.
out there listening who's like, oh my gosh, I'm over 30. I'm never going to get married. I'm over 35. I want to have a child. Blah, 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 blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah, blah. What was your thinking at that time?
It was gonna happen when it was gonna happen, and if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. I also say, Pastor Goodwin, our pastor, as we were growing up at Lebanon Baptist Church, going through, I don't even know how he told me to do this, but I had a meeting with him about something. I'm not sure what it was. And he said, write a letter to God about some of the things that you want out of life, seal it up, put it in a Bible. And that was in 2011. He said, don't tell anybody what you put in that letter, tuck it away. And he said, that way, when you get your blessing or your breakthrough, you know where it came from, basically. So when I did come across Orlando, I had gone through my drawer at home and I was looking at that. I was like, huh, this letter says to God. I opened it up and I think it was like 3 pages long. And I had it in there listed the specific things I was looking for in a mate, so a husband. Now, this is 2019 when we met. I wrote that letter in 2011. I could have been the individual and say, rip it up. God, it's 2011. Open it up in 2012. Rip it up. Psh, God, you ain't heard my prayer. But like the pastor say, seal it. I had forgotten all about it. Seal it. And we got to be patient. Definitely got to be patient. Because when I opened that letter up after I met him, I would guarantee 90% of the things that I had on those lists was characteristics of him. And I met many guys in between 2011 and 2019. Um, but with him, it was a little bit different. I told myself, okay, Jamaica, when you go on your first date, don't go in there and saying everything about yourself. Let him talk. And anybody that knows Orlando knows that he loves to talk. He loves to talk.
Yes.
So that was not a problem. Because most guys, when you sit there and you say, I like candy or I like to go to the movies, just for them to say, oh
They gonna
yeah,
be like,
yeah,
me
I
too.
like candy too. I like to go to the movies too. And just let them talk like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. So we were there and I just let him talk. So I'm taking in everything that he's saying and so he was checking in from time to time. How you feel about that? I'm like, oh, it's cool. It's all right. So I let him talk. Let
So you
everything that
was
he had
playing
to say.
hard to get, like the high
Yeah,
five
I
song.
was playing.
He's playing
Yeah,
hard to get. She
right,
just
right,
wanted
right.
me.
I was playing the reverse role. I was playing the role of like a male, and he was playing the role of a female. Didn't know what he was doing, but ultimately, a lot of the stuff that I learned a lot about him because he, like I said, still to this day, he is a talker. Sometimes I'm just like, shh. But that's one of his characteristics, and that's one of the things that makes him unique. So we're gonna rock and roll with it.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you gotta, but he fit, like you said, the list that the pastor told you
Mm-hmm.
to put in the Bible. He fit the
Mm-hmm.
list. So what can you
Yes.
do? And then
And
that's
other
the,
things outside of him, it was other things that I put on that list about like educational things, other material things that I had already gained or had already gotten, but just did not go back and look at that letter until one day
hmm.
I was cleaning out the drawer, maybe a month or two after I had met him. Because, like I said, that thing had been in the drawer since 2011 in a Bible that I did not use. So don't even think I'm not out there reading my Bible. It was another Bible that somebody had given to me that I don't use on a regular basis. Because I think that if I had opened it up, I would have made any guy say, oh, I can make this guy to be like that. I can make him to be this. I can make, because that's what's on my list. I probably could have
Mm.
said that I can make any male be like the list that I wanted versus allowing God the opportunity to make someone into or have someone out there, me allowing myself to run into the person that he would have me be with. So,
That's a good point because I want to speak to the ladies because can be for the men too. Sometimes we can try to mold that person into the list because
mm-hmm.
you, let's say you got the 28 things on the list. Oh yeah, I can make him this, he this, and you know that man ain't that. You know for real
And
that.
I'm gonna stop you right there. And that one thing, I never told him what was on that list. Because if I
Mm.
did go in, some people can switch their identity just for the sake of being wanted to be with that one person. So still to this day, I don't think I've ever shared with him all the stuff that's on that list.
That's good because you do have to keep some type of sacredness and discretion because otherwise people, because this is the second time you kind of mentioned this, the word or the idea of boundaries. You do it with your student. You did it with
Mm-hmm.
this letter because you want to keep that between you and you and God. And then you also said, even with my husband, yes, we're in this union, we're in this covenant, but I don't have to share everything. And then with the students too, starting out the
Mm-hmm.
school year,
Mm-hmm.
which is coming up, it's approaching. You don't
Yep.
have to be the teacher who's like, I need to know everything. I'm gonna make them like me. So then,
Mm-mm.
no,
Not
that
at
ain't,
all. Not at all.
that is not gonna work. Because what is the importance of boundaries in relationships? Whether it's marriage, it could be with coworkers, it could be with church members, it could be with anybody.
You keep your identity. You're able to retain your own identity. We're all, as we mentioned before, we're not on this earth by ourselves, but we are all unique individuals. But so if we don't set up boundaries, we start conforming into what somebody else wants us to be instead of what we are meant to be.
Yeah, you definitely won't want to come because I mean I tried that like growing up. You know how when you in school and you like, ooh, they got these pants or
Oh,
everybody wearing this
mm-hmm.
hair. Let me try. Because there was one time you probably don't remember, but I only got a weave one time, and that was all I needed. Like I don't need weave. I seen everybody else with it was in college. Everybody else had the weave, so I tried
Oh,
it and I was like, how is they wearing this? I said this got to come out.
and
Elmira
it's
don't need
hot.
no weave. Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
it didn't even look cute. I mean, of course, I know there's better techniques now. I still don't want the weave
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it ain't for me. Like, because you got to
Stay
get it
true to
sewn
yourself.
in. You got to I mean, yes, I'll wear the wig and people know I'll be wearing the wig because I don't even wear that all the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's too much. I trying to conform because that's in style. If you were to think about it, that's well. Let me ask you about that because that does bring up what made you decide to change your hair because you used to
I want to
do the
see if you
relaxer.
have something.
What?
Um, because everybody doesn't know. I don't have any like pictures around
Hold on, I might be able to share one. Give me
of
just
what
a
I had
second. Yeah,
before.
just keep talking. I'm gonna look on
All
my
right.
files
So,
because I might be able to share in this interview
and it's
where
more so
people
like
can.
it was a health concern. So maybe 6 years ago, I think 5 or 6 years ago, I stopped getting relaxers because no, it was even before that. Found out I had some fibroids, which everybody say is pretty common to African American women. So
Mm-hmm.
doctors kind of shun it off. But then upon doing some more research, they were saying some of the chemicals that we use in our hair does cause for us to have fibroids. However, if you've been wearing your hair relaxed for over 30 some years, it's hard to just say, I'm not doing it anymore. So, speaking with my hairstylist at the time, Alicia, um, I was telling her the journey that I was going through, and she was like, okay, well, we just can come in and do what do they call it? A silk press. So, after we wash your hair, dry your hair, do the flat iron and all of that stuff. But even then, maybe 2 or 3 days later, you start to get that little rough around the edges. And I told her,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the
I
slick
found a
edges.
picture and
So
I
she
might actually, you can keep talking. I'm going to share a couple because I think I found some more pictures so people can see. So this is one picture. You are in Hawaii
okay.
here.
Yeah,
So
so
you
definitely
all
had a
can
relaxer
see.
there.
Yeah, I got
Hmm.
another. Let me close that one. I can share. Hold on. Go back to the images. Uh,
But so I started getting silk press, all of that stuff. And it was getting to be a lot to cover up, a lot to pay for, I guess I could say, because I was getting it done every 2 weeks. And then it would become a headache because it's like, man, I just got my hair done and it's raining outside. I just got my hair done and they expected me to go to King's Dominion or something along the lines like that. And so she kept doing it. She was like, Jamaica, your hair is really, really curly under there. And I'm
this
just
is
like, no,
another
just
picture
keep
with Cyrus as a little baby.
said,
And you.
just keep straightening it, keep straightening it, keep straightening it. And I said, if anything, I'll experiment with it in the summertime because we're all for 2.5 months. I'll take that time to experiment with any new hairstyle before going back to work. But as of course married, we started looking into like our future life insurance. We looked into like a life insurance policy, and they were quoting us for life insurance policies. I was like, that's a car payment. That is a car payment for whole life insurance policies. We're not talking about term life, we're talking about whole life. So then I had to make some decisions. I was like, what in the world can I cut out in order to be able, because life insurance is much more secure than sitting there straightening your hair every 2 weeks. So I said, you know what? She told me it's curly under there. And this is life insurance, hair. Life insurance, hair. So I said, you know what? Let the curls go. Just let the curls go. And it's been so much easier because it gets wet and it just curls right up. and no money is really spent on it, just some conditioner or something along the lines like that. But it came out of health, like I said initially. Once they found some fibroids, and then just straightened it, I stopped getting the chemical relaxers. And then even more with paying additional money for life insurance, I had to look into some type of way that I could save some funds on a monthly basis. So rocking the natural. Yeah,
Mm,
rocking the
yeah.
natural do now. It's working. So I'll keep it up. I'm gonna see how long I can grow it. I used to cut it maybe twice a year, but I do want to eventually get it down to my shoulder. So we'll see how that goes.
I got a question about that because I never asked you because of course everybody's got different texture even in the same family. My hair is curly,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think my
Mm-hmm.
hair is as curly as yours. Do you have to put a lot of product on it or minimal
Mm-mm.
product?
Very minimal. So something like this, I think I put some gel in it. Maybe what is today? Monday. Um, Washed it, put some gel in it on Friday or Saturday, and that'll stay really curly for a few days. If I get in
Hmm.
the shower and rinse it out just so that it's not as sticky, I may do that 3 or 4 days later and it'll still stay curly. Um, for the most part, my everyday hair routine, if I wanted to look crisp, pristine curls, put some water on it, put some Cantu, scroll it, take that through my hands, and boom, it might be dry within an hour. So I don't do a whole lot. I don't do a whole lot with my hair. And that was even more convincing for me.
Mm,
Like when she was walking me through that process, I was like, you got to tell me how this is going to do, because I see so many people wearing natural hair, and like you said, I see so many different textures. I see people with the big froze. I see people
hmm.
that are like, I have to twist it up every night, and then I have to get
See,
up in the
that's how
morning
mine
and do that.
is.
I was like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. But she walked me through some different products for me to be able to use so that I could keep this up. But for the most part, I've very minimal product that I actually have to put on this.
That's good because there are women out here
Mhm.
who don't realize how easy it could be because they never tried
Yeah,
it. It's
true,
like, how
true.
would you know if you didn't try to see what your texture is really like? I mean,
Hmm.
you don't know. I think the biggest thing I got to figure out now, I just been putting off getting one because I had the locks before and then last
Hmm.
year I cut it off. I need a detangling comb because see mine's will get knots on the end. Like that's just a common thing. Like it's fine. It's
Hmm.
funny because it's fine, but then it'll get like these little tiny knot, and then it'll all the other strands just twist up on this one knot. So I need a detangler because I use all the stuff. I got the Cantu, I got the ORS, the Olive Relief. I got all the stuff, and it
Hmm.
works. It does good, but then it
So
be
you're
like
talking about like a detangler brush that has like the multiple
yeah, that
waves in it?
one.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
I need,
I'll use that
yeah.
quite often. That's
I
good.
I need that joint for real. Cause sometimes I don't be wanting to comb it. So that's my fault too. So
True.
be like
Mm-mm-mm.
you can't just neglect the hair and then think it's gonna do what you need it to do.
Mhm.
Okay, I think the final question I want to ask you is specifically about the event coming up. And me, you,
Okay.
and Stacy. Stacy, for everyone who don't know, is one of our cousins. Like we said, we got a lot of cousins. So,
Mhm.
we used to sing together as a trio. Unfortunately, Stacy couldn't join us for this concert, this event. But so me and Jamaica are going to continue on. What is one reason you feel it's important for you to sing for this function or for us even to revive what we used to do?
Mm. I love to sing. Anybody that knows me, I love to sing. Wish I had more opportunities to do it when I was younger, because we were in the youth choir when we were younger, but we only sung like once a month. And then, of course, I was still helping out, even though I wasn't a youth. I was still helping out with the youth choir, participating with that. And now the church that I'm going to, I'm a member of that praise team, and we sing every single Sunday. So I love that even more. But you asked me to do it, and I was always taught that when somebody asks you to do something, especially if it's in a area or something that you feel is really important to you, just say yes, because you never know when that opportunity is going to come around again. And
Mm.
it does give me, because it's not like I'm singing any R&B or anything like that. We're singing a gospel song, so that has allowed me once again to be able to go out there and sing something, the type of music that I love. So I felt good in saying yes to being able to participate in that. And I like the fact of the show that you're going to have, because you've got many different types of music and then many different things as well. I think you said you had spoken word.
Yeah.
What else is there?
I mean, there'll be comedy now. Me and Terrence gonna do
Okay.
some. Well, Cyrus gonna be was gonna be bringing comedy, but me and Terrence gonna bring some comedy. We got the spoken word. We got different artists. We got dance. Like I'm bringing some dance to the show. We got a lot of different stuff.
Mm,
A speaker. There's a speaker, so it's not just all like music type of that kind of performance. It's something for everybody, you know. And
mhm.
we got Orion. He just turned 12, so we got we ain't got
Oh,
just older people, we
little
got younger
precious.
people too.
Yeah,
So
precious little thing.
yeah, cuz to me, you just said it, you love to sing, and I feel like
Mhm.
this gave us the opportunity to do something different. And it was a challenge, but we made it work. Like, y'all got to know how we put this together. Like, so Jamaica recorded her part, multiple takes. You laid down the track because people just think that y'all go in the studio. Yeah, we went in the home
No.
studio. It was at the
No,
home
no, no.
studio.
You got that right.
So you laid down your part. You sent it over to me. The first copy went missing. So I had to wait
Mm-hmm.
till y'all got back from Jamaica to get the next, because I was going to be working on my part. I was like, ooh, I can lay the track. I can put it on top. I can do it. I had to wait till you sent it again. So then once she sent it, y'all, I was able to put my part over it. But if anybody knows about recording, once something is recorded, you have to be very conscious of listening, and we're doing harmonies too, so you can't be off.
Mm-hmm.
The timing has to be right, which meant I had to actually sing the song faster than it actually was to get it on time. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting here in this room at like 10, 11, 12 at night getting it right, but we got it right, and it's
And
gonna be.
shout out to Philip. Shout out to Philip Thompson of New Kent County, Virginia. He was hardcore and making sure that three-part harmony was
Is
there.
on,
So
yeah.
yes, you learn how to sing and listen for the tenor part, alto part, soprano part, all of that stuff. So shout out to him for putting that in us in the youth choir when we were coming up.
Yeah, and I will say
And
when
Joe
it comes
Thompson.
to ear, you actually
Mm-hmm.
have a better ear than I do. Like I can hear the harmonies, but when it comes to like actually setting stuff up, you have a better ear. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can hear the stuff better than I do. Like I just that's not my greatest skill when it comes to like the music
And
stuff.
I think it comes from, because, and this is one of the things I tell the musician at our church. You were used to be like a solo artist.
Mhm.
So, well, you were in more so, I guess I'll say a solo artist. So it comes a little bit harder to learn like background vocals, and those background
Yes.
vocals is mainly your harmony. So
Yep.
I was never really anybody that was on the scene. I wasn't picking up leads to songs, so I was always singing background, background, background.
Oh, I never
And I
thought
think
about it that way.
that's where it comes from.
Cause yeah, they put me on the lead starting when I was like 10. So
It
I
is.
mean,
It's hard. I know one time, a couple of times, I would try to, if they would give me a song to lead, um, and I didn't hear, because I'm an alto, and I did not hear that alto part. I was sing my part like, I can't even think of a song right now. What's an upbeat song?
we're blessed in
That's
the
got a
city. We're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we
we're
come
blessed
and
when we
we're.
come and when we go. So something like that. And then the solo would come in. And if I was responsible for singing the solo and I did not hear that alto part, I would sing my part and the alto part. So I was like, Jamaica, stay in your lane. Because
Oh,
I'm telling you, Philip would make us, where my altos at? Where my sopranos
yeah,
at? Where my
yeah.
tenors at? He would make sure he heard it. So instead of us stopping that song in rehearsal, I was just gonna go back in and sing the alto part when the choir was coming in. So I was just like, over the years, it was like, that is not, you supposed to be singing the solo part. You are not supposed to be singing the choir part. Stay in your lane. Because it was hard to shift back and forth between
True.
singing the lead and then trying to remember what the part is for the chorus and then coming back to the lead. So I had to tell myself, just stop. You can't do everything. If you're supposed to be singing the lead, sing the lead. If you're supposed to be singing the choir part, stay with the choir part. Just let the other person do what they're supposed to be
Yeah,
doing.
because you got a whole choir anyway, so let them sing.
So I think that's where the difference comes from. Like, you used to singing leads. I'm not
That's
used to
true.
singing leads.
I never even thought about that because yeah, they handed me like Zoe or somebody or even well, college when I was in the college choir, I didn't really sing lead. But they even but I can credit like you said, Philip. When I
Mm-hmm.
got to college, sometimes they would even though I was an alto, sometimes they would make me sing soprano cuz I could sing both
Mm-hmm.
parts and I could. I could do either one. Didn't matter to me. But yeah, I never even thought about that. Like, cause I sung, yeah, they put me on a solo all the time. Like, that's
Hey,
giving.
take
I
if
mean, between
they
me
gonna
and
give it to you,
Stacy,
take it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Stacy on the
Take it, take it, take
solo.
it.
And then if it was the adult choir, who sung the solos on that? Well, Mike, of course. They put him on the mic all the time. Michael,
Jean,
Gene,
Tracy,
yeah. Emmett, if it
George.
was the older
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Gay. I
Yep.
mean, they was the soloist. So yeah, interesting. And Tracy
Mm-hmm.
Thompson, she always sung something. Okay, well, do
Yes.
you have any final words? Because before we wrap up,
Just make sure that you leave them the link for the event that you said they can check
yes,
on Eventbrite in order for them to log on to that concert on the 29th.
yeah,
So that, and then of course, make sure y'all go back and look at all the other videos on this subscription so that you can see some of the other guests that will be performing on that day as well. But other than that, like you said, our title of this is Faith and Family. I just say to our listening audience, make sure you are keeping the faith.
hmm,
Also, stay in touch with your family members because you never ever know what they're going through. There's a commercial on TV that said if you have time to scroll, you have time to pick up that phone and talk to somebody. So if we have that time to scroll and see what's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Stay in touch with your family. Send them a message. Hi, how are you doing today? I'm thinking about you. Give them a call because you do have no idea how far that little one smile emoji or that little conversation goes with making them have a better day.
that's a good point. Because we can sometimes get disconnected and then
Mm.
depend on, I mean, I'm guilty of that. Like you depend on Facebook or something, let's be like, oh yeah, let me see what so and so doing. But you can send
Mm-hmm.
them a note or a note, call them, send them a letter, send them a little gift, something,
True that.
anything. Okay, I feel like we watched this guy here. When I held up my phone just now, I felt like, I think didn't I tell you about the guy Reggie Gay that we watched? We watched Reggie Gay Gospel. He's based out of
Oh,
Atlanta, but he broadcasts in different city. So when he's announcing stuff or his little segments in between, he'll be like, Now, everybody, you got my app on the mobile device. Y'all sign up for my app, Reggie Gay Gospel. That's how I felt like, because he'll be like, and coming
Oh,
up next, we got another song. If y'all want to hear a certain song on the program, email me. Get on your email. I know y'all got email. Just, he be,
mm,
he's funny.
advertising. Well, do
Yeah,
make it
we
easy
watched
for him.
that
He
on
can do what he has to
Sunday.
do.
He's funny. Okay, well, this has been a pleasure, everyone. This has
Yes,
been
ma'am.
our behind the scenes chat. This is Jamaica Nash. She's one of my sisters. Make sure you check out the World Family Experience coming up on August 29th. I put the link in the chat, it's in the comments. We want you all there, and this is a family friendly event. This is not just for this type of person or because you come from home, it's virtual. So you can be in your car, you can be in your kitchen, you can be at the hotel. We don't
Hmm.
care. Eat your food, just hang out, and you can be anywhere all over the world. That's the beauty of this. You do not have to be where we are. And you will hear our performance plus the others because the whole goal is to establish that faith and family. That's it.
Hmm.
Okay, we will see you all next time.
All right. Y'all
Goodbye.
have a good night.